Okay, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to talk about Tomos A3 and A35 speedometer cables, because in the 18 years I've been working on these particular bikes, it's probably the worst part you can try and find from an aftermarket retailer. I also just happened to snap two of them in the last month, so I don't bother buying them off eBay anymore because of the 5 or 6 I've bought from there, none of them have ever fitted. They either get the size of the actual drive wire wrong. Should be about 1.8 millimeters cross section on that, on the square section. I found they tend to be far too big, and you can't file them down because they're essentially like a very fine spring, so as you try and file it, it just falls apart. The other thing they get wrong is the size of the connection nuts. So on a Tomos A3 and A35, it's got a smaller 10mm one end and a larger 11mm one the other end. What you usually find is they have the same size ones on the generic parts, and again they don't fit. I kind of struck lucky a few years back when I found that YPV Spares in the UK started selling one that was almost identical to the OEM one, right down to the plastic nut on one end of the cable. They've since changed that design. They've now got aluminium nuts at both ends, but they both fit. And that's where I bought these from. This is the 850mm one, which is pretty much the stock length one, and that is going to be going on my red A3ML. And this is a slightly shorter one. This one's 760mm, and that's going on my blue bike because I've lowered the height of the speedometer on it. So why do they snap? I think it's really just down to partly age and how the cable is routed, which I'll show you now. So this is my A3ML, and as you can see on this one, the actual speedometer is mounted on the right hand side of the kind of cowl. Some bikes have it on the left. Now when it's on the left, the route for the speedometer cable has actually got quite a nice route straight down from underneath it, through the hole in the bottom yoke and down to the speedo drive. On the right hand side, it's got a kind of the same route, but it's got to go diagonally across and up inside the actual back of the speedometer gauge, and it's a bit of a tight angle. I think that's why it snaps. This one always snaps at the top, and I think it's because of that angle, which is not that great. Okay, so this is my A3ML trike. As you'll notice, the speedometer is on the left hand side of the cowl, which means the drive cable's got a much straighter route for it, and so the chances are with this side you're not going to get as many breakages. Right, this is my A3M. I've put lower handlebars on this because of this fairing, which meant moving the gauge lower down. So I've got a slightly shorter speedo cable on this one. I could get away with the longer cable, but it means there's a lot more slack at the bottom down where the wheel, which tends to kind of rub the tyre, so hence the shorter cable. So there we go. That was useful. Just remember, the cable needs to have 10 11mm nuts at each end of it, about 850mm long, and the inner drive needs to be 1.8mm square in diameter. There you go. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe, it's much appreciated, and I'll see you all again soon. Take care.